Welcome to Real Estate AI Flash, the show where AI goes from hype to habit. I'm your host, Rajeev Sajja. Each week, we make AI approachable and actionable for real estate professionals who want to stay ahead of the curve. From lead generation to listing presentations, from marketing strategy to client experience, you'll hear how top agents and industry leaders are using AI to work smarter, save time, and grow their business. So whether you're just getting started or already experimenting with AI tools, this podcast gives you ideas you can use right now. Now let's get to this week's special guest. Welcome to Real Estate AI Flash, and it's Happy New Year, and 2026 is here. Can't believe a year flew by like that. But today's guest, by the way, is Michael Perna, founder and CEO of the Perna team out of Metro Detroit and Ann Arbor. They've helped more than 8,000, that's right, 8,000 families buy and sell homes in that area. They're a powerhouse team that are consistently ranked in Michigan's #1 real estate team, closing over 1,000 transactions each year with eXp Realty. Michael, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I love the podcast. I caught a couple of episodes, and I'm excited to be on.
Yeah. Looking forward to digging in with all things AI with you. But, I gave you like an elevator pitch introduction there for what probably is multiple decades of a career. So talk to me about, for the listening audience to get to know you a little bit, Michael, what were you doing prior? How did you get into real estate and bring us to today?
Yeah, for sure. And I was doing some quick math, just back of the napkin math, and you say 8,000 transactions, and it sounds like this big, huge, monstrous number. I've been doing this for 25 years, so it's like 300 per year, which is still a big number. Still a big number, no doubt. But I don't want to mislead people and be like, oh my gosh, that guy did 4,000 units in 1 year. Nope. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Just small steps to a bigger goal. So that's a great place to start out. Is I got into real estate when I was 20 years old. I got in, I was a bartender before that, server, host, bar manager, whatever you want to call it, all the restaurant things that a lot of people like lead up into real estate with, right? Like it goes from like host to server to bartender to real estate agent, and then sometimes back to bartender. Kind of the running joke. I got in because I was looking for a bigger income than bartending could give me to pay for a degree without any college debt. Specifically, I wanted to go into law. And more specifically, I wanted to go to U of M Law School because it's a great school, and I had family and cousins that had gone to U of M Law and that were very successful. Very glad I didn't do that. And ended up watching friends' older siblings go into law and frankly just join a rat race where it seemed to go one in two directions. Either you were working for one of those body farms, and in this area that would be like a Sam Bernstein or a Jeffrey Feiger, where you're making 25 grand a year and you got a ton of student debt and it took you 5 years just to get up over 40,000, or you were doing really good with like one of the bigger M&A firms in Chicago or New York, but you had zero life. The expectation was 7 days a week, 12 hours a day for the first 5 years. And neither of those seemed appealing to me, especially at 21 when I was making over 100 grand a year selling real estate. And that's 2023 money. 2022 money. That's not 2025 money. That's pre-inflation money. And plus, I'm having a good time. My lead generation consisted of golfing 2 or 3 times a week and calling some buddies and just having a chat with them over a round of 9 or 18, or calling a couple of buddies and saying, hey, let's go get a burger and a beer. Like that was literally my lead generation. Just trying to hang out with 8 different people a week. I'm like, how could life get any better? Kind of bumbled along up until about 2007, selling, 4, 5, 6, 7 million a year, somewhere in that range. And again, early 20s, that's a monstrous income. 2007, I woke up on January 1st and decided I want to be a listing agent. I thought that was a good idea. So I said, how am I going to get listings? I still look like I'm 12. So I bought my first ever suit, which was from Bacharach. It was on sale. It was under $100. Thank God they had those. Cleaned up my car, got a car wash, and then I actually started door knocking expired listings. So I door knocked any night of the week, Monday through Friday, that I didn't have an appointment, I was door knocking. And then I started layering in calling. So I kind of did it backwards. Layered in calling and hired Mike Ferry as a coach to go that route in the morning. By June 1st, I had taken 42 listings. I had not taken that in the previous 5 years of my career combined. And of course, in the second half of the year in Metro Detroit, the lights went out. I mean, not even figuratively, like literally. The crash happened, and it was like Houston, Dallas, Metro Detroit, and then the rest of the nation. It was crazy. And it was very hard for me, especially at the age I was, to overcome those objections because real estate always goes up. In our lifetime, at that point, real estate had literally always gone up from 1929 to now. It may have paused, it may have dipped 2 or 3% during high inflation times like early 80s, but we just had never seen anything where we're talking 10% dips, right? Or more,
Yeah.
and which ended up being
Yeah.
30 or 40%. Um, so I ended up actually referring out all of my listings because I wasn't scripted for this. I didn't know how to do a price reduction. I referred them all to another guy in my at the time Keller Williams office, and just went back to doing buyers because buyers were happy and sellers were all mad all the time. After about a year of that, realizing that listings are the name of the game, I got back into expireds and for sale by owners, and I started building a true, actual focused listing business. 2011, with one assistant, I ended up selling out 183 properties. No
Mm.
showing assistants, no buyer's agents, nothing. It was just me, head down and focused. The only thing I was doing was taking listings. If that listing turned into a buyer, I actually referred it out to another agent in the office and took a referral fee instead of showing the buyer homes because my one thing was going after listings. Leading more into the AI conversation, the other kind of aha I had in 2006 was there was no real estate agent, team, or company at that moment that was focused on SEO,
Mm-hmm.
search engine optimization. It didn't
Yeah.
it didn't really exist pre 2012. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong if you know of somebody, but I searched high and low. I couldn't even find agencies that were focused on SEO specific to real estate at the time. So I did it myself. So I got a real estate webmaster's website. It's the same website that I have today, and I started building out individual neighborhood pages for the top 4,000 neighborhoods in Metro Detroit. At one point in time, 2016 and 17, the website organic traffic accounted for 28% of our sales. So that would be around 150 to 200 closings each year. And that's one of the things I try to do is always try to stay on the forefront of what's coming up. And
100%.
there's this is going to lead into the AI conversation.
Yeah.
The next came GLS, right? And
Yeah.
I was
Google
very
Local Service.
fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to have a couple of connections where they had introduced me to a gentleman, and that was like November. I want to say GLS came out in 2020.
Yeah. Like right before COVID or right at the cusp of COVID or something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
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 And so it was like November of 2020. I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine that's a real estate agent in Texas, and he's like, "Man, you got to call this guy Joseph. He's got the inside scoop on something cool coming." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So I called him, and I had a chat, and I'm like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Well, up until 6 months ago, I worked for Google." I'm like, "Cool. What'd you do for Google?" Well, I ran this team that's doing the coding for the back end of this product, which was GLS, and it didn't have a name at the time, but that's what it was. I'm like, cool, what do you do now? And he's like, well, I quit to make a company to help people like you actually rank better on GLS. I'm like, cool, what do I need to do to be in first mover position? And he said, man, you got to get to 1,000 Google reviews as fast as you can.
Mm.
I'm like, cool, because he's like, no one else in your area has more than 100. Get to 1,000, crush the competition. I said, okay, cool. So January, February, March, those 3 months, I focused very heavily on Google reviews, and we hit 1,000 reviews in 90 days. That's what we did. Now we're going to hit 3,000 reviews at some time in the middle of next month. We are by and far by 2,200. We are 2,200 more 5-star Google reviews than any other team, brokerage, or individual in the state of Michigan. Right? That was very purposeful. Our GLS game is strong, and now out is GMB, right? Google My
Right.
Business, and that's the mapping in the middle. So what Google was trying to do was claw back the money that places like Travelocity was getting, because when you book, like, let's say a Hilton or a Marriott through Travelocity, they get a commission. Google wants that commission now. When you pay Angie's List to go in and see who their preferred vendors are, they want that money, and that's what GLS was for. And so now here we are on the cusp of the next big kind of wave, and that's AI. Okay.
So if I
Uh,
could pause there really quickly, Michael, great takeaways. If you're listening this, we haven't even talked about AI, but there were so many strategic advice that Michael laid out. One was how you sort of worked your door knocking, like tried and true practices,
mhm.
and focusing on keeping the main thing, which is like list to last. So you focused on listings. And then obviously you talked about SEO, building neighborhood pages before people started building neighborhood pages,
Mhm.
right? And then GLS for those Google local services for basically small businesses. It's a special product that's been around for a few years now, obviously. But
Yeah.
Michael jumped on it early, and he had obviously we talk about Google reviews being so key for your business to build trust with the people that are Googling you, and you're at like 3,000 reviews. I mean, that is rarefied air, Michael, right? As you talked about that. And it's not like, now you can't, some of you are listening to the show probably don't have 3,000 customers, but I can guarantee that all of you don't have the reviews you need to have with the customers you already have done business with. Is that fair to say,
Correct.
Michael?
That's
Right? So,
100% fair to say.
right?
Yep.
So, and we've been talking about this. So there's a lot of key takeaways here, although we're on an AI podcast, and we're going to dive deep into this now. But there's a lot of key business practices that Michael shared that I think are gold. So just want to pause there. And then the next question I want to lead you into is, what was your first light bulb moment with AI?
Okay, so my very, very first light bulb moment was not listing descriptions. I mean, that was a light bulb moment when I opened up the MLS one day and I see like almost all the listing descriptions look and sound
Look alike.
identical.
Yeah, yeah.
Which was I'm like, guys, look at this, look at this, look at this. There's like 5 listings in a row. They sound the same. My actual light bulb moment was in May. So I went and got myself back into the business. I've been out of the business, out of direct sales since 2016. And you know, it was a tough first and second quarter of 2025. If you're in real estate and you made it, congrats. That was a heavy lift to get here, guys. It's a heavy lift to get here into 2026. Now that we're in January 2026,
Yeah.
so congratulations on that, making it through. I will say, in May I went back in, so I went on a listing appointment and I asked them. I said, "Hey, by the way, how did you get a hold of us? How did you find us? Thank you so much for calling us." And they said, "Oh, well, I live in San Diego. I need to sell my father's home. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, I'm a business owner in San Diego. I need to sell my father's home. I'm going to be flying home next week. I need somebody that's very good in this city, somebody that won't bother me needlessly, but will get the job done." And my name came up first.
Well,
Well,
let me
about a
pause
week
you there
went
for a
by.
second. So
Yeah.
this is May 2025.
Yep. This is May
Yeah. And
2025.
so, and what you're alluding to, and we'll dig into this, is people searching on ChatGPT for agents and
Yep.
doing this, we call it long tail search, giving
Yeah.
more information than I need a home, 3 bedroom, 4 bath kind of scenario. But go ahead. Sorry. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, no. You're right. And that's exactly
Yeah.
right. And it's very
Yeah.
long tail. And what I'm finding is it's very event based. And I'll get into
Yeah.
that a little bit more as well.
Sure. Yeah.
So then a week goes by, and I'm like, oh, well, that's nifty. That's a cute thing to have happen to me. And of course, sometimes I need to be told the same lesson 4 or 5 times. So I'm out on the other side of town, and I'm walking up a guy's driveway whose home had expired. And the guy he's like washing his car, and he turns and he looks at me, and he's like, oh, hey, Michael, how are you? And I'm like, I'm fantastic. How are you? Great. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot if I'd met you before. I apologize. He's like, no, we haven't met. I'm like, well, just out of curiosity, how'd you know me? He's like, well, before my home came off the market, I went to Perplexity and said, I have a luxury home worth $1 million in Rochester Hills, Michigan, who has a proven track record of selling homes that didn't sell before that are luxury. And I came up fourth. And that was my lesson. And I said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Have you found an agent? He said, yep, I did hire an agent. I said, okay, can you walk me through your process? So he was using Perplexity, pulled open the
Yeah.
Perplexity app. He showed me the prompt. And it was, again, another longer prompt, right? This isn't just a simple Google search, real estate agent near me, best real estate agent near me, that kind of thing. They're long because the large language models can handle those longer prompts. People use longer prompts. I use longer prompts. You use longer prompts.
It's very conversational. That's really what
It's
it
very
is.
conversational.
Search
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very conversational, and AI is already there. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, which one of these 4 agents that came up did you hire? I was number 4. And he said number 3. I'm like, okay, cool. Could you walk me through the rest of your process? So he called number 1. Guy came out, interviewed him. He didn't like him. Off to the side. Called number 2, same result. Called number 3, a lady named Leslie, who's a fantastic agent. She's great. I've worked with her a dozen times myself over the last 20 years. I would have picked her probably, and liked her and picked her and listed the property. So the other thing that I learned was by accident, I was coming up in these searches and getting a couple of at-bats. 2 big light bulb moments in my head was A, how do I get more of those
Yeah.
purposefully? And then B, these are bottom of funnel leads. These
100%.
people that are using AI are bottom of funnel. And then number 3, if I'm going to add something onto that, unlike with Google, they're high trust, which is very interesting to me. So like Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Grok, doesn't matter what you use, it gets stuff wrong all the time. Yet we keep on asking it questions, and whatever answer they give us, we treat it like gospel. But we know that like, it's so far off that ChatGPT just announced it's not going to give legal advice anymore because it's off, right? Yet
And you
people
should
are
not
using,
depend on AI for legal advice. Just
right, and you should not, by the way, you
yeah,
should not.
you should not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Call an attorney, call a doctor, call an accountant. Don't
Yes.
rely on chat. It will make up cases that don't exist. That I know.
Yeah.
I have enough family that's attorneys that complain about it at this point. Um, but anyway, kind of weaving back into it.
Yeah.
So up until now, what search has really looked like is if you're in the, let's call it the, I'll say my parents' generation, not the greatest generation, but the boomer generation.
Yeah.
Most of the time they would just phone a friend. They would do some Google searching, but it would be the second thing they thought of, not the first. I know because my mom calls me and asks me questions all the time. Hey, Mike, how
Yeah.
do I find this button on the computer? How do I do this? How do I? Ma, Google it. Literally, Google it. And then you've got the Xers who primarily they'll Google and then they start getting into YouTube. And then you've got elder millennials like myself that we are a very YouTube based generation. And now you've got the younger millennials and the Zs, which they are inundated. They're growing up with ChatGPT.
And
And
TikTok.
then what ends up happening is, from a generational perspective, it all squeezes inward, right? So now I've got my mom using ChatGPT, and she planned her entire trip to Copenhagen using ChatGPT. Where should I go? Where should I eat? What's handicap accessible? Can you lay this itinerary out for me? Let me ask more questions. And then
Yeah.
she turned into a voice conversation when she figured out that she could do it. And so now she's having full-on conversations with ChatGPT on a daily basis. So this is where this is going, right? Like Google is untrusted because at some point in time, the public figured out that the people that came up on page one of Google either paid to be there, sponsored, or they're really good at SEO, but that did not make them a good contractor, which is
Yeah.
why Yelp exists and why Angie's List exists. So with things like pay-per-click or Google, you're more top of funnel, low trust. With ChatGPT, people are making decisions in the moment. ChatGPT, what are the 5 newest restaurants around me because I want to go out to eat tonight? That's
Yeah.
the stuff that's happening, right? And it's low funnel, high trust. So then the question came in, how do I get more of these at bats? Is that fair? Is that fair to put out there?
Yeah. That's where we want to go. Let's dig into that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So there's a couple of different ways to really get this done. And I will say this, I'm working through. So there are 163 cities, townships, and villages in Southeast Michigan. And I'm working through and creating service pages on my website, not blogs, but actual permanent pages on the website for 122 of them for each city for every type of real estate event that can happen. 50% of them are just straight up question answer. Who is the
Yeah.
best agent to help a first time buyer in city, name, state? Who is the best agent to help me sell an inherited property in city, state? Who is the best agent to help sell a property during a divorce? City, state. Who is the best agent to help somebody upsizing in city, state?
Yeah.
That's 50% of the pages. That's 61 pages. I found 61 events that are most common in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
And then because Claude and Chat and Perplexity, specifically those three, like listicles, which are
Yeah.
like top fives, top seven, top 10, and they
FAQ
particularly like
type of
top
stuff.
10,
Yeah.
FAQ. So with those, I'm taking those same 61 services and top 10 reasons a first-time home buyer should use Michael Perna to buy a home.
Yeah.
Top 10 reasons, and literally just going down all
Yeah.
61 events.
Yeah.
So that is my heavy, heavy lift. It's going to be 10,538 pages when I'm done. And granted, I am a crazy human. You don't need to do that.
Well,
I
Michael,
would say,
pause there
yeah,
for a second. We'll
yeah,
dig into this. This is good stuff, by the way.
yeah. Thank you.
So I'd like to figure out. So this is going on your Michael Perna website, I'm assuming, on a blog.
Yes, sir.
Blog.
It's
So
actually so that was a good question. So that was a question I had for ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Claude. I actually ask all three same questions a lot of times, just because I want to know if they have different answers. And I said, what's the best position for this? Should it be a blog? Should it be a page? Should it be just an FAQ? And it said it should be its own page because pages age slower than blogs.
Hmm.
Because AI knows that blogs age out faster because blogs are more of an in the moment thing that's happening. Like
Yeah,
here's a blog about the fireworks happening on 4th of July.
sure.
Great. It's only good. It's not evergreen. It's only good for a certain period of time. And the AI knows that. But service pages were designed to last longer. And so the AI knows those last longer. So I actually moved it off of being a blog, which was my original thought, and made it into an actual just page.
Page on your website.
Yeah.
So, how are you getting to 10,000 pages in terms of the build? Talk to me through the process. Just take one town,
Yes.
right? The page, and then the listicle page, corresponding listicle page. Just talk through the process of that.
You bet. So I built a prompt, and I started with basically a very, very simple prompt of ChatGPT. I want to rank number one, or I want to be the number one referred agent by you, Claude, Grok, Gemini, Chat, Perplexity, when someone asks a
This
specific
question.
question about real estate. Can you give me the prompt that I can feed back to you that would create the page that would cause a 10 out of 10 page to be created for AEO and GEO, as well as SEO and readability, because it's also got to be public so people could actually read it.
Yeah.
AEO being Ask Engine Optimization or
Sure.
AI Engine Optimization, whatever it is that you want to call it. I mean, we're still
All the
figuring
same.
out terminology.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it hasn't quite settled in yet, I think. Um, and so it did. It gave me the prompt. So then I took that and put it in the Claude and said, "Hey, is this prompt a 10 out of 10 for my goal of? And if not, could you update it so it is?"
Yeah.
And it said, "No, this is not a 10 out of 10, and here's the better prompt." And then I took that and put it into Perplexity, and I said, "Is this a 10 out of 10?" And then I took that end result and put it back into Claude, or put it back into ChatGPT, and
Yeah.
asked the same question: Is this a 10 out of 10? And by the time I got done with that process, my prompt itself was over 3 pages long
Mm.
because it had added things like, oh, it doesn't have a schema. You got to have a full schema because not only does Google like it, but AI likes it. I don't know
Yeah.
what a
Google
schema is, by
Google
the way.
loves schema. You can't ignore Google.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is. Couldn't even tell you, but I have them now, and it's great, and they look so
Markup
wonderful.
schema. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd. Um,
Good place to be, Michael. Good place
yeah,
to be.
yeah. And then like at one point it added voice inquiries. So like
Yeah.
it added in this section down towards the bottom and that says, voice inquiry when someone does a voice inquiry with ChatGPT, the other ones, a person will say this, you reply with this ChatGPT. It's very specific. Who is the best agent for first time home buyers in Metro Detroit? Answer. Like, and that was query. Answer. Michael Perna is
Yeah.
the best real estate agent for home buyers in Metro Detroit. It's like it's adding all this stuff in that I would never have thought of in a million years. So now I've got this 3 page prompt,
Yep.
right? And so I take it, and right now I'm using Claude for this
Yeah.
because I like Claude's
Claude's writing.
readability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. It looks and sounds and feels the most like me, also because I trained it very well. I
Sure.
trained it over the course of like 40,000 words. Probably a little overkill, but that's okay. I'd
Yeah.
rather get it perfect. And so now I take that 3 page, I copy it, I paste it in the Claude, and then it kind of drops down underneath onto its own little thing. And then I said, use this prompt to create the service page. Who's the best agent in Addison Township for first time buyers? Send. The reason why I picked Addison Township is because it in Metro Detroit, the list of 163 cities, it is the first one alphabetically. By the way,
Hmm.
that's yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so it spit out the page, and I'm like, great, this is wonderful. And I did 22 pages real quick, like that day. Got him over to my VA, my virtual assistant. He got him up on the site. Life is good. I got like 3 cities in, and I was like, wait a minute, are these really all the service like event types in real estate? And so I put it back into ChatGPT and I said, hey, are these all the event types that's possible in real estate in Southeast Michigan? And ChatGPT said, no, you're actually missing 99 of them. I'm like, oh,
That's
okay.
where you got the big list.
That's where I got the big list. So I'm like, okay, so now I went back to Addison Township and I did the other 100 or whatever. Like, great. And then I got done with that and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I asked if the prompts were a 10 out of 10 for AEO, GEO, SEO, readability, and lead conversion, those 5 things, I never asked if the first version of what it gave me was.
The page itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So now my process is I take the prompt, I paste it in, I put the service up top, write me a page about first time home buyers. Great, right? And then it takes a minute, spits out the information. That's awesome. And then I re-ask it the same question. Is this a 10 out of 10 for these these five goals? Every single time it says no. It's a
Yeah.
6 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10. It's a 2 out of 10. It's a 6 out of 10 for AEO. It's a 5 out of 10 for GEO. It's a 7 out of 10 for SEO. It's a 4 out of 10 for readability and lead conversion. Great. Can you make it a 10 out of 10? And then it becomes the final polished product.
Sure.
So that's my three
Quick
steps.
question. Quick question, Michael. So
Yeah.
how many pages have you published so far? Ballpark.
Um, I'm a little south of 2,000 pages.
So have you started seeing some traffic and lead gen from that 2000? Can you put some
Yes.
dollar value on this, like
Yeah.
ballpark it for me?
So we went from taking, when I first started this project, we were taking about one listing every 60 days from AI direct.
Hmm.
And that's only because, we have sold 8,000 homes and we do have a big footprint and I do have 100 agents and I do have 1,800 Zillow reviews. And I do have 3,000 Google reviews and all those things that were already kind of going my way in my favor that I
Yeah.
didn't have to row upstream with. We were taking one every 60 days. Now we're taking 4 to 6 a month.
That's noticeable. Obviously, the
Yeah.
effort is paying off, and you're only 1/5 of the way there,
Yeah.
right? So you got 10,000 pages, but you got 2,000 pages done. So I mean this
Yeah.
what I love about this conversation, Michael, is usually we talk about tools agents are using. I'm going to get to that as we finish. The tools
Hmm.
that you subscribed to, and you mentioned Claude. I love the fact that we sort of dug into lead generation with AI.
Yeah.
Right? AI,
This is
organic
real.
lead. This
Yeah.
is real leads. I mean, this is
Hmm.
actually, to your point, bottom of the funnel leads. So out of the 4 to 6 a month you take are mostly buy side or sell side leads. I'm sorry.
Almost exclusively sell side,
Okay.
which is
Interesting.
really
Interesting.
interesting to me. Like this, and the quality. If anybody listening uses GLS, it's GLS quality.
Mm,
And for us, what that means is when we get 3 GLS calls, we have one closing pop out the other end.
mm. Wow, that's pretty
Like
good.
that
I mean,
is
that's
that is the conversion rates that we're
awesome.
talking about here.
That's
Like
awesome. That's awesome.
like these leads, we're walking in the door and they've already hired us in their minds because ChatGPT told them to,
Yeah.
which is
So
crazy.
you
And-
so to
yeah.
rehash it really quickly. No, that's good. The rehash it. You used AI to help you build a 10 of 10 prompt. That was a
Yep.
process. You did that. Step one. Step two, you used AI again to generate the content on the page and iterate it to get to a 10 of a 10. And then
Yeah.
you published it for 2,000 locations,
Yeah.
variations of
And
that.
then here's the to your point. I'm only 20% of the way through my project. And you can take that 20% and even cut that by another 50% because we're only 20% of the way to max usage of AI. Like if you look
Yeah.
at the number of Google searches done on a daily basis versus the number of AI searches done on a daily basis, it is still exceptionally lopsided.
Yeah.
But by
Yeah.
2032, 2033, they're going to even out.
Yeah.
And I
And
mean,
plus,
the velocity of this is amazing.
is crazy. And you've demonstrated it through pre-AI with GMB, with SEO, with GLS, that you are on the cutting edge and your first mover advantage. I mean, you have first mover advantage in the state of Michigan, and so kudos to you and your team, of course, for all of that. So,
Yeah. And
anything
there's
else?
always
So
going to
let me.
be something. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. And there's always going to be something else that comes up, but this one thing, like SEO, it does and doesn't have permanence. Do we still close deals? Sure. We're going to get 100 closings a year from it. Is it the 200 we used to get? No. It's not. GLS, are we still going to get closings? Yeah, we're going to get 100 closings a year. Is it the 200 we got 3 years ago? No, it is not. But it will always be there on some level. This is the same thing, and whatever
Yeah.
comes next will also be the same thing. A couple things that I do want to mention though is before you even dive into all of this page creation, all of this mess, the first thing I think you need to do, and this is getting to the tools kind of piece of it,
Yeah.
is get Moz Local, get BrightLocal. One of those two, there's a third tool that I've used in the past, I can't remember the name of, but Moz Local is the one that I use the most because I still do a lot of SEO stuff and it does
Yeah.
really well with keyword stuff. And make sure all of your citations across the internet match.
Match
So
100%.
that's problem number one. That was a GLS thing because GLS will derank you if you like in this building that I'm sitting in right now. I actually have two suites. I have one side that's conference rooms for closings and one side that's the agent's bullpen. So I've got suite 103 and 107. On Facebook, it was suite 103. On GMB, it was suite 107. On
Consistency.
Zillow, it didn't even have my suite number. So GLS will derank you. Guess what? AI wants the same thing. AI is looking for what they call trust signals. And one of the
Yeah.
trust signals is that your phone numbers match, your addresses match, your name looks the same,
Name
your
matches.
business name looks the
NAP.
same.
Remember NAP, people.
Yep,
Name,
now
address,
that's
phone
it.
number. Yeah.
Name, address, phone, right?
Yeah.
So if nothing else, if you were looking for the where do I start with this, pay Moz the $100 for the 1 month of use. Have it fit because it can fit. It will actually literally fix 50-60% of your citations, and then it will tell you the rest that you need to go and fix and get that one thing done for. That is the action item. When you log off this
100%.
blog or podcast,
Podcast. Yeah.
the very first thing you do if you're driving, pull the car over, then go onto Moz.com, click on Moz Local, sign up for it, start the citation search. It will take you 60 seconds. Be the best
100%.
60 seconds you'll spend on your business this year. Promise.
Yeah. Great advice. I mean, before you get to where Michael is with 2,000 pages, let's kind of fix your foundation,
Yeah.
right? It's not, the NAP consistency, make sure the signals are working in your favor. The other thing I noticed to AI search also,
Yeah.
AI seems to count on certain sites like HomeLight, Fast Expert, etc.
Yes. Yes.
Plus, most agents don't have, if you go to any agent that's listening, go look at all your profiles on the web. I call it cookie crumbs on the web.
Yep.
And like Fast Expert, Zillow, your Google My Business, all of them have profile bios. The signals you're sending from all of them are very, very radically different today because you've not thought it through holistically.
Yeah.
So I
I
actually
was
built
there.
a custom GPT about bio optimization for AI search. Is
Ooh.
also fits into your NAP thing where your homes.com bio profile and your Fast Export all have, it interviews the agent, this custom GPT, tell me all your credentials, blah, blah, blah. Paste your current bio and it rewrites it for all platforms on the web and you simply copy and paste it. So the signals you're sending to AI are consistent. We'll put a link to the custom GPT in the show notes.
That's
But
amazing. Yeah.
to
I
Michael's
want that.
point, yeah, so custom GPT for bio optimization, Moz Local for your NAP optimization, and then you start to think about, okay, what's next now? And that's where Michael is now. So maybe you come back and listen to this
Yeah.
podcast episode a few months from now, and I think whatever Michael's talking about will make a whole lot of sense now that you have the foundation. So this has been awesome,
Yep.
Michael. Great stuff.
So that was step one, and then just a very brief step two, and then the pages. Very brief step two. If you're not actively with velocity getting reviews, start that process now. But it cannot be just Google anymore.
Yeah.
So the AIs cannot read Google reviews.
Yep.
Right now, they're great for GLS. So if you look at our reviews, and please look, like, go to the Perna team, go sort by most recent reviews, and you'll see all of our reviews are very similar. It will have the city, the state, the event type. I was a buyer, I was a seller, I was a first time seller, I was a first time buyer. I bought my third home and this was the better experience, blah, blah, blah. Buy the best real estate agent in Michigan, buy the best real estate agent in Farmington Hills, Michigan. They're all very similar because I'm trying to signal Google where I want my leads from through
100%.
GLS, where I want to
Yep.
rank. But the problem is, again, AI doesn't read it. So we need to start paying better attention to our Zillow profiles, our Homes.com profiles, our
100%.
Realtor.com profiles, because it can read those.
Yeah.
And now
And one
you're
of the
again
things, Michael,
signaling.
to your
Yeah.
point, great, excellent segue into in one of the elements of the custom GPT, I tell
Hmm.
people, look, Zillow is, I mean, AI can know that you have a Google My Business page, but she doesn't know how many reviews you have.
Right.
But in the questionnaire, it asks you how many reviews you have across all of the major sites. You
Yep.
tally them all up, put it into AI, and it'll write the review, write the bio, as if it'll say Michael Perna has got 6,000 reviews, 6,000 five-star reviews as part of your bio on your website. So it then sort of signals are sent all over the place. So great
Yeah.
takeaways there. So yeah, so let me end with this question. So tell me, I know there's AI tools we play with, Michael, all the time, and I don't know if you test stuff, but we all test stuff at some point.
A
But
little
there's
bit.
also
A little
a
bit.
little bit, right, depending on the
Yeah.
time. But there are tried and true AI tools that we pay for today, and that can change in the future. Give me Michael Perna's AI tech stack that you pay for.
Okay. Right now, I'm paying the $200 a month for ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity, which I think Claude might be
That's
100 a month. I don't remember. Yeah.
so that's the most the most advanced plan.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
the most
Okay. Go
advanced
ahead.
plan for all three. Part of the
Okay.
reason why I do that is because it's myself, my marketing person, and 4 virtual assistants that use it. So we're all
Yep.
using it,
Yep.
right? And
Yeah.
so
The capacity.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
the capacity is an issue at the $20 a month one for us. We just
Yeah.
get throttled back all the time, and we use them for different purposes, right? Because I want ChatGPT to come up with my YouTube video ideas and the basic framework, but then I want Claude to actually go ahead and write it for me.
Yeah.
Just being honest,
Yeah. For sure. Yep.
I don't like the ChatGPT's writing. It feels clunky to me. It just does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Claude just feels like I can read Claude into a camera on a teleprompter and it looks great. I like Gemini, and technically I pay for it because we have an at the Perna team G Suite Gmail, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You have
because
the Google Workspace. If you have Google
there it is,
Workspace,
Google Workspace. Thank you.
you can
Yeah.
get the pro account for Gemini. Yeah.
Yep. And because
Cool.
we're doing that, we use Nano Banana, which is in Flash 2.5, to do
Perfect.
our photo editing, to do our dawn to dusk photos. We do it
Yeah.
actually. My three major moves with that are dawn to dusk photos, removing things that my photographer missed and didn't remove, like a garbage can or something like that.
Yeah.
And then third, what I call the elevated photo. So the photo of the front of the house, I put it into to Gemini and I say, hey, can you reshoot this photo as if the camera was 30 feet off the ground? It makes every home look way better. It's really cool, actually. It's like you're
Oh,
putting it on a
nice. That's a
yeah
good
on a
prompt. You
tripod.
should try that. Yeah.
I like that
Awesome.
one. And
Anything
that's
else that paying for? Any other tools? AI tools?
not that I'm paying for, but I really like Sora.
It's still a
That's
play
bad.
thing. I mean, at this
I
point, I
know,
mean, I
I
feel
know,
like,
I know. Oh,
yeah,
by the
yeah, yeah.
way, did you know? Did you know that even on a Sora account, you can only do up to 100 videos a day? I only know that
I
because I
mean,
hit the max twice.
yeah. Well, that's a lot of videos a day. So you're playing a
Yeah.
lot there,
Yeah.
Michael.
But it gives
But
me a lot of ideas back as well because it
100%,
makes
100%.
it. I'm actually using it as a. I know this is gonna sound a little weird, but I found myself using it as a cognitive tool for
Yeah,
me to boost my creativity because I'm not
100%.
wonderful at that. Because if
Yeah,
I'm trying to come up with crazy videos, now I'm coming up with crazy ideas for real estate content.
100%. I think
Yeah.
the way you learn AI is you have to experiment a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the only way you learn. Nobody's going to give you an exact playbook. Go do this because it's relatively new.
Yeah.
To your point, so I think there's a little bit of experimental culture you need to build into your and I think AI. One of the benefits of AI to me, you echoed also, is creativity. I mean, it
Yeah.
helps you be more creative. So let me we could look, Michael. I could
We
talk
can
to
go
you
for
all day.
hours. Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I could talk to you all day. But we do have a podcast that we got to kind of wind down here. So I will.
Yeah.
I will get to the final two questions. I'd love to have the listening audience. You've been in real estate 25 years. And so if people are listening to this podcast and there's several agents that listen to it, broker leaders, etc. What is the one
Mhm.
piece of advice, if you had to start your career again, one piece of advice you'd give anyone listening to that would help them take their business to the next level? What would that
Yeah,
be?
that's a
It could
great
be AI
question.
or anything. It could be anything.
You know, I think the number one thing I would say is go all in on one singular thing.
Mm,
Whether it's expired listings,
yeah.
whether it's farming, whether it's door knocking, literally just pick one singular thing and really master it. Because I see a lot of agents nowadays where training, I mean, man, when I got into the business, I mean, probably when you got in, like training was sparse.
Yeah.
Like there just wasn't a lot of it 25 years ago. Now there's an overabundance of training. And I'm looking at these programs that they're great programs that these brokerages are putting out, but it's like, hey, here are the 14 different ways you can get business that I'm going to teach you this afternoon and go do all 14 in mediocrity.
Yeah.
Literally in mediocrity. Because you just can't. Mike Ferry said it best, and this I will always carry this with me. No, man, stop. Just write the expired script 5 times, literally every morning. Take a black marker, put the date across it so you can't cheat, and then fax it to me. At 4 in the afternoon, chant the expired script into my voicemail 5 times.
Mm, yeah. I
Like,
can
I
see.
mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't even scan an email. It was still fax in
Yeah.
2003 or 4 or 6, I'm sorry, in
Yeah. Yeah.
2006. But it made me so good that literally, like, I have not made a call since 2012 because I have an ISA team. But
Yeah.
May of this year, I jumped in and without missing a beat, I listed 5 million in property. And this is Michigan, guys. This is not California.
Yeah.
Like that is 20 pieces of business here
Yeah, great
because
advice. I mean, take
it was so good.
one element and be the best at it, and be known for it, and get business from it. Just focus on one
Yeah,
thing and go
And it
all
doesn't
in.
matter what it is. It could be sphere of influence. It could be AI, lead generation. It could be YouTube videos. It doesn't matter. Just pick one and just run straight at it and run through all the walls there in front of it.
100%. Great piece of advice. Last question I have for you before I let you go.
Yeah.
Are you a book or a podcast person, Michael?
I'm still a book
Or,
person.
hey, look, nothing
A
wrong with it.
physical book person. Physical book.
Book
Yeah.
person. So is there one book that has been more influential than any of the other books you've read that you should, the listeners should read?
All right, I'm gonna go a little bit old school on this. Good to Great
Oh,
by
yeah,
Jim
Jim
Collins.
Collins. Oh,
I mean,
love it.
that was the book that made me realize, and we hear all these sayings, list the last, good's the enemy of good.
Yeah,
You hear all. It really made me realize that good is in fact the enemy of great.
100%.
When
100%.
I'm good at something, I stop improving,
Yeah,
and therefore I will never be the top 1%. I'll always be stuck in the top 15. And for
yeah.
me, that's not good enough. Because well, look at it this way. Look at it this way. If you sold one home in the last 12 months, if you sold one home in 2025, you were in the top 25% of all real estate agents.
That's a pretty low standard, but yes.
That's
I
terrible.
get it. Yeah,
That's terrible.
I get it.
I want to be in the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. If I'm only good, I will never get there. And I need to be there because I owe my family that.
Yeah, 100%. And that, that's a great message to end the podcast on, because it sort of echoes your previous message, which is pick one thing and be great at it. Right? And Good to Great
Actually, it
probably
does. Yeah,
has.
you're right.
I've read it probably a decade ago. I should go back, and this is an impetus for me to read it again. It's a great book,
Great
and
book.
thank you for your time, Michael. And I hope to actually meet you in real life sometime real soon.
For sure. Catch me at a conference. I'm going to 18 of them this year in 2026. I'll be there.
There you go. Well, Happy New Year to you and your team, and continued success.
Thank you, and you as well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Great
Yeah.
podcast. Great episode. Thank you.
Yeah. AI lead generation takes strategic effort, and Michael laid out the plan for you to leverage AI to get more at-bats with potential clients wherever they're searching on AI. If you found value in the show, follow it so you're notified every Wednesday when new episodes drop. Share it with someone in the industry you care for, and leave us a review, as it helps us reach more real estate professionals like you.